All right, I have a question for you right now. When you're looking up in the night sky, how do you know which stars are in our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, and what stars are in another galaxy? This is a question that I wondered when I was a kid. Just looking up, there's so many stars in the night sky, and I didn't really have an appreciation for that question. It's something that I wondered. And so in Stellarium, one thing that we're lucky to be able to do is click on a star and see how far away it is. So this one's 430 light years away. Here's one that's really big. Do you think it'll be closer to us or further away from us? Let's click and see. So it's only 8.6 light years away. And so that gives us an indication that maybe it's really bright because it is closer to us, and maybe it's as a star itself, it might not actually be that big. And so we get into the concepts of magnitude and absolute magnitude. So the magnitude of what we see says minus 1.45, which means it's really bright. So Sirius, this star right here, is a super bright star that you can see in the night sky. Same with some of these stars over here. So this one's called Betelgeuse. I have heard it pronounced other ways too, but I'll just say it like that because that's kind of fun. So what do you think about it? Do you think it's close to us or far away from us? So let's click on it, and it's 427 light years away. So that's pretty amazing, because I thought maybe it'd be similar to Sirius, only 8.6 light years away, and it turns out that it's 427 light years away. So what do you think that means about the size and the absolute brightness of the star? So just as you're probably thinking, it means that it's actually a brighter star, and that it's further away, but it's still really bright. So that means that it's definitely brighter than Sirius. And as you can tell right here, it's part of the constellation Orion, and we can see that magnitude, it's 0.45, and so Sirius is actually brighter because it's minus 1.5. The lower the number, the better as far as brightness. But its absolute magnitude is minus 5.14. So that means that if you weren't taking into account the distances, it's actually really far away. So going back to my question, which ones are in the Milky Way? So to give you an appreciation of how big the Milky Way is, so this Betelgeuse star is 427 light years away. Our galaxy spans 100,000 light years. So unless you have a star that's more than 100,000 light years, and I mean, it depends which way you're looking too, because you could look at a direction away from the central part of the Milky Way, and you wouldn't have to travel the full 100,000 light years. But still, that's huge compared to 427 light years. Is actually not that far. So basically, my point is all the stars that we're looking at are very close to us relative to how big the Milky Way is. So do you think that we're seeing most of the stars in the Milky Way? So probably not. We're not seeing most of the stars in the Milky Way because, like I said, the Milky Way spans 100,000 kilometers, and we are only seeing stars that tend to be about 1,000 light years away or less on this. So that also answers the question, can you see stars in other galaxies? No way. Other galaxies are way further away. With telescopes, we can see some other galaxies, but the galaxies in the sky are so small compared to everything else. So if we click over here in the search window, we can search for the Andromeda galaxy, which is the closest major galaxy to us. And we will just zoom in a little bit. Okay, there we can see it right now. There it is. So look how small it is compared to the space in the sky. It's so small. So this little thing right here, this little smudge that you can really only see with a telescope. If it's super, super dark, this is actually one of the galaxies that you can barely make out with your naked eye, but hardly. So you really need a telescope to see it. and it's so small, it's such a little smudge, and this is the closest galaxy to us. And this galaxy contains about 200 billion stars. So this little blip contains that many stars because it's so far away from us. So guess how far it is away from us. So some of these stars, 679 light years, 136 light years. How many light years do you think Andromeda is from us? So it doesn't even say on this program, but it's actually 2.5 million light years away from us. So compared to all the stars, it is so much further. And so I hope that gives you an appreciation of kind of what the stars we are seeing are, where they're from, and how they're just a small part of our own galaxy, and how compared to other galaxies even, the other galaxies are just so much further away. So I think that's just a really cool thing. And if you want to find other galaxies, you can look for other galaxies in the program as well by turning on the nebula function. So if you go over here, turn on nebulas, and it looks at nebulas and also other objects like galaxies and star clusters and things like that. But a lot of these things are from other outside of our galaxy. So I hope you found that interesting, and I hope you take some more time and play around with Stellarium.